the Allergen-Free Baker, and today I'm going to show you how to use quick rising yeast. Quick rising yeast has a number of different names, including instant yeast and rapid rise yeast. Using quick rising yeast is actually quite simple, easier than using active dry yeast, which is called for in most traditional baking recipes. But when you're baking without gluten, there's no need for that longer rise time. So taking advantage of quick rising yeast's already active cultures really makes a lot of sense. Always keep your yeast, once it's opened, in the refrigerator or the freezer. I like to keep mine in the freezer, and you can use it straight from the freezer. Most recipes will call for 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. That's the same as we'll use in our quick rising yeast. I like to use a yeast spoon, which is already measured to 2 1/4 teaspoons. And all you need to do is put in the quick rising yeast with your flours and dry ingredients. You'll still need a little bit of sugar to make sure that the yeast is activated while it's rising, and usually just a very, very small amount of sugar, a tablespoon or less, is all that's really required for most recipes. Now that you've got your yeast mixed in with your dry ingredients, you still need a rise cycle. But instead of the 50 to 65 minutes that it would have taken you for the rise of your breads with active dry yeast, you'll only need 35 to 40 minutes at most when you're using quick rising yeast. And then you'll be able to get your baked goods straight into the oven. You can find a lot more hints and tips on how to use quick rising yeast, as well as many other hints and tips on how to bake gluten-free and allergen-free in my book, Learning to Bake Allergen-Free, available wherever books are sold.